Like I do, like I do, like I do, like I do, baby. Aha. Well, outside, who in them building? Who in here? Who in here being nosy? Santo. Yeah, what it do? Let's talk. Ochinche.
You see that?
That's mine?
No.
Yeah, it is. You lying. You're lying.
I put it out. I would let you have in the whole one, the last one.
Well, okay.
Bitch ass nigga.
What's up? Who in the building? Who in the building? Who is in the building? What's up? Y'all gotta ask some questions and we just gonna be looking at each other or y'all just gonna be looking at me. Oh, the little Sean interview. Wow. Y'all be going there, huh? So let me just put it into context. I don't know him, right? But I had an encounter with him. One day I was with my man and he was in the club. We was in this club called it was this party in this hotel, the Ace Hotel, Ace Motel or some shit in Manhattan. The Q-Tip was playing there. And I was there with my man, with my big homie. And he came through on some like, so my man was talking to this chick and he just, after my man was talking to her, he grabbed the chick by the face and was like ruffling her up. Now, if that's your baby mom's,
You got the cigarette?
huh?
You got the cigarette?
No, ain't no more.
No, there's one left in the pack.
No, it ain't. That shit's
I
gone.
promise you.
Nah, you
Where's the
bugging.
pack, nigga?
I threw it out.
Oh my gosh.
So, I think I threw it out.
Yeah, there was one in there.
Nah, it wasn't nothing in there. I checked it.
promise you ain't checked it
All
right.
right. So, so yeah, so he tossed the chick up. And we was like, so they start swelling up on me and my man. Now, he's a little shrimp. I'm going to be honest with you. He's a little guy. You feel me? And it kind of went against the the persona that he portrays. You feel me? Like he too cool for school. You know, he was always there. He's at every every rap legend was came because they saw him or some shit like that. So I don't really necessarily it wasn't nothing in there, right? It was. I broke it. Oh, so he he's not my real cup of tea. Now, about all of that stuff that he was talking about, I'll just say this because I done got in trouble, but I'm not gonna get into it because what you been call it? You said oil anyone? Nah, son, that bugging out. P Diddy, John. We ain't got no baby oil over here. Give you some palm oil. Anyhow, so because they've been talking about the fat man and how he's a homo and all that type of stuff, and nobody didn't care. When I said something about homie, they got all upset. But this is the question that you got to ask yourself. Was he mad that the song came out because he really did shoot himself? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Feel me? Real talk. What was a tree grower or a Negro? Who is that? I don't understand. You said a tree grower or a Negro. I don't understand that. I don't know. You're trying to be. You're trying to make jokes at me. I don't get it. If you're watching me, you ain't gonna do nothing but watch a Negro. Anyhow, we ain't here to talk about none of that sucker shit. Feel me? We ain't here to talk about. I'm not talking about no baby oil.
This Ocha news, man.
Yeah, this Ocha news. Have you seen somebody light a chicken and set it on fire and let it loose? Tell me about that shit. Feel me? Have you seen somebody set a chicken on fire and let it loose? Right. That's witchcraft. Feel me? Real talk. I'm talking to y'all. That's what I'm doing. I should be going to get some cigars and something. Feel me? But I don't even know what is going on in the chat. I don't know what y'all talking about. That shit has nothing to do with what the fuck are we talking about. This world is a dream. Okay. That's a fact. Gary Hayes, you are right on point. It take a motherfucking idiot to be one to do this motherfucker 4 years again. Hell no, take this shit back. Feel me? I'm not with that shit. I don't know what they talking about. You know, black people be acting like they can't live with racism. You ain't even seen no real racism. You know what I mean? Fucking niggas living in luxury, talking shit on the motherfucker on the internet. Your ancestors was not talking to white folks like that. I promise you. What you want to talk about, the E5 dudes? Ah, man, they going to try to make me out to be a bad guy, you see? Try to make me out to be a bad guy. They're going to be like, oh, I hate that motherfucker. He always talking shit. I'm just saying. Well, ORISHA doesn't say that they're the only things here. Be very clear of that. What's good, knowledge? So, serious question. Can a person who's not in communication with his main part of his relatives or bloodline still practice tradition? Yeah, but it's going to require you to work vigorously to figure out who your spiritual core is. Feel me? No, he's not really tuned there. He ain't come no Ifa, then came back with no time with no Umar. Omar is Ile Tunde, or the school came back, because he still ain't got the school, so I don't know what to say about that guy. I know he ain't no Bible out. That I know he ain't. So what was you saying? So other people are adamant about, now there's the other spirits that come from other places in the world that the Orisha acknowledge. They be like, yeah, you got some other shit with you, and you need to address that. You feel me? No, traditional do not work, Misa. If they do, that is some new shit that they done acquired trying to placate the American experience. They are not. So, spirits are far down the hierarchy and less socially accepted amongst the Yoruba. If it ain't a deity, it's some spirit that's messing with you. Yeah, but they're applying these words to try to make sense of things that they didn't have access to before. They never had no visa. That's not their tradition. Feel me? They never had a Misa before. That is them trying to placate what's going on now. They never had an Egun stick. None of that shit. It's not their tradition. Traditionally, them, a staff has some sort of position in some royal title. The Opaiku was divine specifically for Obadameyi. Adechina, and he brought it back with him from Africa. And the concept is that although the water separates us, the ground is still connected underneath the water. So if I hit the ground here, it should reverberate back home to wake up my ancestors. Got it? No, it's not. And it has a specific function, right? So the sound of, like I was telling you, the sound of cascabeles or bells, hawk bells as they call them. The sound, and we know this metaphysically, that entities are nullified or restrained by sharp sounds and high-pitched sounds. And so the bells, they say that the Orisha Eguns don't like them. So they put the bells at the end of the Opaiku so that one has the ability to walk amongst the dead and not be consumed by them. So it's like a light in a cave. So if you got the light, then all of the bugs will back up off you, right? So as long as you keep banging and stabbing the bells, it'll keep them a distance away, a healthy distance away from you. Now, there is another staff for those who may have been orphans and who have lost their bloodlines. They create another staff with another function that's put at the ends of the strips to call their ancestors to them. Now, I'm not going to give up what it is, but it's neither here nor there. It can only be prescribed for someone that was suffering from such a circumstance. So you wouldn't just be, oh yeah, I'm going to put, no. So that originally the Opakuku was actually a cane. It was not the height of the people. That is an African-American adaptation. If you went to Cuba and you saw Opakuku or Egun stick, it was like maybe up to the hip, and it had a little face on it, and they put the 9 colors on it and the little bells on the end of it, and people used to walk with their stick, right? So you go to another person's house and you're not sure about them, you go and you walk with your Egun. To back everything else will fuck up off you, right? The African Americans, someone had been prescribed the height of the person for a particular prescription, and this became the rule of thumb. And so everybody in African American LUCUMI has all these large trunks, and they be and you have all the stuff on it, right? So it is an adaptation. It's not a Yoruba. It's not something that the traditionalists apply. It's not their custom. Okay. So that you understand that the actual concept of Egun, Oro Egun, comes from a particular cult out of Yoruba land called Oro. In Yoruba land, Oro is a conflicting cult to the Egungun cult. Yes, it is. If your ancestor or if a dead family member or friend in well, these are the circumstances, right? You might see the person because they haven't ascended, and they might not have had proper burial situations, right? Especially for people that they couldn't find, right? Hold on one second. And so what happens is, if they couldn't find you, then you might still have your skin, so to speak, so that you can still be seen in this world. Generally, when one ascends, or when they pass away and they ascend, it takes them a certain amount of time for them to earn their skin so that their loved ones can actually recognize them. So if you're seeing a mother or a father or a grandparent and you can recognize them, you see the spirit and you know who that is, that means that that spirit is elevated and has had the access and the authority and license to come back here and to affect you. Okay? What are your thoughts on collective growth or chaos regarding these globalist changes? And I read Tyrese say 50 Cent told him, "You looking for love and you're in the wrong days for that. People going crazy." So, I try not to get into global affairs because this is a luxury of the modern world. 100 years ago, people wasn't thinking about what the fuck was going on outside of their county. That shit was not important to them, right? Because their survival was more relevant, right? What's up? So when I don't think I'm on a global. I cannot affect the children in the fucking mines in Congo right now. I can't. I don't have the wherewithal. I don't have the strategic intelligence. I don't have the backing, none of that to affect anybody that's going through whatever they're going through in the Congo, in Israel, wherever. So I minimize to my locale. So the idea that you can't find love, I would, you could say that, but if it's meant for you, and it is something that would necessarily be beneficial to you, it'll come to you. 10, 15 years ago, I was in a relationship that afterwards I didn't think that I would necessarily be in another one, because as before all of this stuff became popular, it wasn't really a way for me to present myself to a woman. Like, yeah, after you got, like, after my teenage, my 20s, my early 30s, to tell a woman, yeah, I throw shells and kill chickens, that's just not what they're looking for in Kevin Samuels. So I didn't necessarily look for it. And in not looking for it, it came to me. So I have to know that there's a law of probability that says they all can't be ruined, right? They can't all be ruined. So if there's more of them than me, then there's got to be a probability of me finding one that fits me. The Yoruba warrior code, I'm not familiar. So let's get this straight. The Yoruba are not a united people. In no way, shape, or form. They're not united. They are a group of clans, right? There are a group of clans that. So, okay. What is a tribe? Does anybody know what a tribe is? Does anybody know what a tribe is? What it consists of? What are the protocols? 3 clans exactly. Right? So it takes 3 clans, meaning 3 large families, to create a tribe. And then that tribe creates a nation. So the Yoruba are more of a nation, not a tribe. And in that, they have different, exactly, the Zulus, neither were the Zulus. Actually, Shaka unified the Zulus, right? So when you say the Yoruba warrior code, that's like saying what's the New York street code, because from borough to borough they got some different shit going on, and in each borough they got different neighborhoods, and each neighborhood got different blocks and different projects. So the code can't be one thing for the Yoruba, because they didn't rule in that fashion. So they are all Kwa speaking people, right? You look this up. Did I fart? Okay. Anyway, so the Kwa speaking people are the base language of the people of southern and western Africa. So the Bantus are Kwa speaking people, right? And the Bantu is it's just the same thing like you would try to categorize the Yoruba. There's so many of them. you're just broad stroking calling them Bantu, right? Um, so I don't know anything about no Yoruba code, warrior code. I know that they have Ogun, and Ogun is what they swear on in the courts, and Ogun is what they swear on in marriage, because Ogun is the uh, patron of oaths and contracts. So when you swear with Ogun. And so, okay, who is this trolling me? I don't know who this is. Like, word, this what you want to say? Okay. Anyhow, somebody else asked me another question. Is fasting for long periods of time good for you, like 20, 30, 40 days? I ain't the guy to ask that. I'm not one of them. I'm not a Dr. Sabi nigga. I eat what the fuck I want, because I'm going to die. And I'm not in the business of trying to regulate that. Feel me? I make sure I don't step on the bomb, and I make sure the motherfucker don't try to shoot me and do no dumb shit. And but for the most part, I cannot control, I'm not in control of what I eat. I don't know what's in the ground here, all of that shit. So I don't get into that. Man, I'm going to live, and I'm going to have a good time. So, did Paulo influence Osine in Cuba? You can't. That will go into that. Just has a general conversation of, did the Congo and the Yoruba speaking people, did they influence one another? Certainly. Ogun wasn't put in a pot until after the Congos made the first Nganga. The Garabato is not traditionally an Orisha icon. It is Congo. So the fact that Alegba absorbs it into his aesthetic, it's into, when we talk about Osine didn't even belong to the Yoruba. It is a Mandinka magic that Shango, in his wisdom, made them teach him that. And he brought Osine into the pantheon of Orisha. But Osine wasn't originally there. I don't know what some of y'all are saying got to do with anything with what we're talking about right now. But all right. So, for instance, the entire cult of Palo Mayombe is Osine, right? You can't be born in in Congo without King Bansa, right? The Ganga has Nkunia, got sticks. Matadi, all these different things are all natural things. The topic, we just talking. We ain't got no topic. Somebody ask a question, I'm saying something. We ain't talking about no baby oil and that sucker shit. Feel me? So Osine is and there is a measure of, see, because we really don't really know. You feel me? You can't really know, because the songs are so integrated. Who knows how long that Osine been in Yoruba land? What's good, Mike? How you doing, Mike Mountain? So you know, it's very interesting that everybody wants to pick things apart as opposed to experiencing. Um, because the connections are not. There's nothing you're gonna invent or do with that shit. It's already been done, and that's what the Orisha community has become. That I said that, didn't I just say that? So, um, when people come to pick things apart, or you assume something is missing, you make an ass. Right? No, hear what I'm saying. So, I'll give you an example. Bendición, feliz cumpleaños, ekunedum, all that good shit. Listen, if so, I saw something when I was growing up that my elders, they didn't speak Spanish. So the shit that was coming out of Cuba, their context for it was very limited. Right? And any kind of milk. Any kind of milk, because it's born with the connotation of sustenance. And so you're feeding your head. And so in that milk, albeit milk, goat's milk, cow's milk, whatever, it still has certain uh, certain properties to it. So people assume. So like my godson's father and one of my elders, right? And they only had access to the English books that were from a Yoruba perspective. And they saw these things such as orocult. Now I'm burping, yeah. Excuse me. And they didn't see it in any part of what they were doing. So they were like, yeah, we're going to go to Africa and we're going to regain the oral code. But what they were looking for was right there. It had been absorbed in the Anya code, in the drumming code, because of its prohibition for women to be exposed to it. And so our entire Egun ceremonies or traditions are based on the cult of Oro. Right? So when we do our Ibayes to the dead, and they go Oro, Egun, right? And so my elders were looking for something that was right there. So now, that would be the equivalent of you saying you buy a house, right? But the house got central air. But you come with these window units. You got a unit for each window. And I'm telling you, now you don't need that. You're just gonna you're gonna cut your light out. You're gonna have less sunlight coming in because you're gonna have this air conditioning and you're gonna use more power because there's already a central air and heating system in it. So it would look stupid if you had central air and you had all these window units in all your windows. It would look crazy. So that's what happens when people decide to go because you're using your logic, and this shit has already been figured out. Okay? So even within the auto code, there is an actual icon set to represent Egungun. Right? So, all that being said, there's no reason to try to figure out what to follow is follow. And when you're doing that, you're doing that. Now, some shit bleeds into each other, but that's just because of the proximity of it. Right? So, I might say Ache one day when I'm in the middle of Apollo conversations. And it really is not going to be that much of a big deal because it's all part of the broad view of the culture. What makes it the difference is when one knows how to apply the fact that, nah, I'm not talking about Ache right now. I'm talking about something else. Feel me? And that takes the experience. Unfortunately, the problem with the novice today is you want too much and you haven't put enough time in. And so this is how we get to the witch talk, where everybody is a sage and everybody is a babalao. I don't know. Again, I don't profess about shit that I'm not expert in. You feel me? So like, my grandmother, she went to Brazil, right? And my best friend's mother and all, they went to Brazil for like 30 years. I never had that luxury. So I've never been down there to ask them that. That's number one. Number two, I could care less what the fuck they doing down there. Because I don't live down there. And I don't concern myself with that. And so it's about maintaining the jewelry that they gave us. If I don't know how to shine up all these other gems, why would I let you come and bring me some other shit that ain't even, it's still in the raw form? You hear me? I got my own gem, I got my own princess cuts and my own VVS's and all that. And then you bring me some raw, yeah, okay, but I ain't even get to these yet. I ain't even set these stones in place yet. Carriage can't go before the horse. Feel me? So, it is important. Am I struggling to breathe? Yes, because my nose is stuffed up. But, again, see, so this is what happens. So somebody say, oh, brother Oba, and you, yeah, that's cool. And when my mama brought me home from the hospital, I was snoring.
You know what, man?
Right? You said that's a dude? Whatever. Yo, listen to me. I don't really give a fuck. If it's whoever likes to play on the internet and they get to jerk off and they get to squeeze off one, I'm glad to assist you. If my voice and my glasses and my face help you rub one out, God bless you, man. Real talk. Everybody needs love, right? Somebody's squeezing off to somebody, right? I look like the dark skin on his teeth. Okay. Whatever. I hope you are. You got some wet wipes? Touch the screen. So, I'm just here as a voice of reason for all of this fucking foolishness that be going on. I promise you, that shit was not happening 25 years ago. You should be ashamed. Go wipe your mouth out with soap now. Fucking weirdo. Fuck is you telling me all that stupid shit for?
So nigga put some clothes on.
Yeah. I've been laying in the bed holding the joystick. Looking at men. This is not that type of story. So, a lot of this shit that be going on today is egregious, man. That shit is just terrible. And, you know, everybody is content with that shit. I don't live in that world. You feel me? What the fuck is this? Yeah, this shit is interesting. I'm gonna start doing this shit just to see the weirdo shit that niggas be writing. Like, what? This is entertaining. Because they don't need to. Because they live in the bush. They don't have to come to the, you know, Havana and Matanza are cities. And so they don't really do too much farming and all that. They got to go outside in the street and go to get their shit from the store. So they suffer more when the country is in, you know, economic stagnation. Right? So the people that live in Oriente, they be in the fields and shit. They got jungle out there and all that. You know, they got fruit. They ain't thinking about none of the stuff that we thinking about. So it's just funny how people are so comfortable with getting on stage and stinking up the joint. And so I gotta attribute that to American Idol. That's what this is. This is like Ocha American Idol. Niggas get in that room and be swearing they doing something. Right? You like, oh, okay. And then you ask them, when did you start singing? Oh, last week. Last week, I was in the shower. I hit this note, and I just knew that I was going to be the next Michael Jackson. Okay. That's fine. We'll see. And so that's how I feel about all this matter. I think it would be in somebody's best interest that they would really be able to study and know this stuff before they get on somebody's platform and run in their mouth. You know? The clothes don't make you smarter or more religious or more spiritual. The superhero names and all that stuff, that's not going to make you more spiritual. And so, it would be, it would hurt a whole bunch of people's feelings if they was like, you talking all that Congo and the progenitor of my Rama Congo is a white Cuban who used to heal people, like for real, for real. Motherfuckers was getting out of the wheelchair and shit with him. But because, you know, the rhetoric of the last 30 years has programmed you that you know, this melanin, this ham that you was cursed with, only you have it, and only, you know, it just becomes all cliches. You know? And you know, I look on the internet and there's Ifa talk, man. We talking this, and I'd be like, word. Okay, and they can't tell you how to apply any of this to the day-to-day things that they doing. They're just gonna have you trying to live like Africans over here, but you gotta pay bills and shit. You know what I mean? And so don't get caught up in somebody else's part, thinking that you could do the same things. You can't. And so what happens is, as people bring that rustic style of Ocha with them here, they're only putting themselves at risk. Because you're going to get kicked out your apartment. If you live in an apartment and you got that stuff and the palm oil's coming all over that shit and there's blood all on the walls, and they come and do a house inspection, you out of here, homie. I promise you that. You go and kick rocks. Them little real estate agents come in there and see all of that stuff and they don't know what that is. Oh really? Thank you for that gem right there. So the bot was squeezing off to me? That's crazy, man. That's what AI got. I gotta deal with ignorant people and then ignorant people in the ethers. It's ridiculous. Look at this, ridiculous. So, back to a glass of water and a candle. That is the basis of this channel and the foundation of our philosophy here. That so all this other stuff in the Orisha and the Palo Mayombe, it's all good, but it doesn't work if you can't at least reach back 3-4 generations. It doesn't mean anything if you don't know who the spirits are around you that protect you, that assist you, that influence you. If you can't call on those spirits to come through and do miraculous things in times of need, then you know, all the dashikis and all of the horsetails and all that stuff don't mean nothing. You know? And so I'm not one to take myself that serious, but there be some stuff that I be looking at people like, how you left the house like that? How you thought you was chilling? What year you think you walking around in? You're bugging. You look crazy. Feel me? That's how you isolate yourself. So that when they decide to be on some extermination, they come and get you because they know where to find you because you all look the same. Oh, here they go. They got the beads on. Go get them. Feel me? So, I try to make it about minimalism. You feel me? I'm going to necessarily stay being me and incorporating Shango in my experience. But I am not walking around with no lapa on. Nah, we ain't doing that. There's just no reason for it. But again, y'all gotta come with some questions. If y'all come with some real questions, then we could talk. We could get, we could build. But if y'all not gonna you're gonna let the bots, you know what I'm saying, try to diddy me and all that, what are we doing here? You feel me? Yeah, I gotta talk about the Allspark. I gotta talk about the aliens and the downloads. I gotta download, y'all. Oh, I gotta download. They say Sean Combs is done. He's gonna be breaking rocks with Robert Kelly. on the chain gang down in Alabama. Word. That's what the download says. And this is not hard to say and figure out. You say he didn't do it, Bo? Who that, Chino? Yeah, but you have to really be willing to want that, and make the provisions for that. You know what I mean? It's like you want to get a dog, but you don't want the dog to shit nowhere. Nah, they ain't gonna shit. Not have not. Okay, so how do you know that the commission has been? So this is where, again, I implore you, slow down. It's not going anywhere. 47, right? Took me all of just about my adult life to get this spiritual shit together. Feel me? So what happens is you go and you become active and you become participative, where you go to the mesas with different spiritualists, and they will help guide you. They will confirm certain things. Now, you went to one mesa, right? And they had the little Spanish lady there, and she was like, oh, and I see this and that, right? She gave you 5 things. You go to the next mesa, and another lady gave you 6 things, but of the 6 things she gave you, 4 of them match up with what the other lady said. Okay. Now, when you go to the next mesa, and the next person that really don't know you, that's a good spiritualist, and they be like, yo, and they give you, they narrow it down to the main 3 out of that 6. Now you start to have progress. Now you start to acquire dolls and start to make little altars for certain spirits and start to deal with them and work those spirits. Right? See, because the commissions are there to make sense of the wisdom that is being bestowed by the spirits, so that you understand why they talk like they do. So, como se llama? So, like a marinero, right? A marinero is a ship, is a what do you call it? A sea merchant, right? Merchant seaman, right? And the merchant seamen have a certain code, right? They have a certain etiquette. So the wisdom that is coming from the spirit is deciphered based on of the quadrant of commission that it comes from. So the marinero won't be really telling you about doing nothing with the ganga. That ain't what it's saying. The marinero might be like, yo, you need to take a trip on a ferry just to cross the water so that you can feel the energy of the ocean, or take a bottle and blow in it, clean yourself off, and throw it into the ocean as far as you can. That would be the prescriptions and the things that the marinero would do. As in contrast to the Congo might say, oh, you need to get a stick. And ask your godfather if you have a stick that sits there with his nganga that represents you. Los Chinos are going to have things that are from that construct. What would a Chino spirit tell you? A lot. A Chino spirit might tell you where to go and what store to get the whatever ointment that you need because you got back problems, right? The Chino spirit might necessarily tell you a certain thing about humility. No, I don't know nothing about no golden comb. I mean, that's all aesthetics. That's because somebody drew some picture and Oshun's colors are gold and yellow And so she got a golden comb. I mean, more likely, she would probably have more. If she was to have a comb, it would probably be made of ivory. Because uh, gold in Africa is not the end all be all as it was in Europe. So don't get the peas mixed up. So don't think that the whole like they hear about it's gold. It's like they just use that shit as they can use it, right? I I listen. I don't follow anybody else's imagination. Yes, that is evidencia. So that when you start to, so this is what would okay. Well, let's go back to the glass of water and the candle. I talk about when you have to first ground yourself and know who you are. What is your nature? Are you a giving person? Are you a defensive person? Are you a traumatized person? Whatever it is, you have to come to some kind of sort of grips with yourself so that you kind of know who you are. So that when outside influence, exterior influence comes in, you like, that ain't my shit. I don't even like this shit. This shit tastes nasty to me, but I'm drinking it. I don't know why. Because then you can be very clear that this is another entity or something that is pushing its agenda. Somebody told you a tale with Orisha with what? You didn't finish the sentence. He said, somebody told me a tale of an Orisha with. It's stressing me. I hope that's not a bot too, no. Certainly. Certainly. Random thoughts. This is so okay. Let's get into the uh, semantics of it. Inspiration is the ear, nose, and throat. So I'm taking that which was outside of me and bringing it inside to me to inspire me, right? So if a spirit offers you alcohol and you are forbidden to touch it, um, you tap it, you kiss your hands and you cross your arms and you kind of tell them that's like, yeah, I can't fuck with that, right? Now, so now I have an issue with that. If you're an alcoholic, like if you drink alcohol and you turn into a fucking idiot, don't touch that shit. But if you go get a reading and them niggas is like, oh, and this old dude says that you are prohibited, and be like, shut the fuck up with that stupid shit. Because the Orishas are born drinking alcohol. You heard? So if it's not a detriment to you where you have a problem where you get to drinking and then the spirit come in and then you don't know how to act, all right, cool. And then they gotta specify it. So they gotta tell me, oh, you can't drink dark liquor or you can't drink white liquor. Right? I don't drink white liquor. Unless I'm mounted with Salavanta, then he'll drink all the rum in the world. I don't drink that shit. Not for party, not for nothing. Right? So that's how I know that you'll know that, oh, that nigga's possessed because I'm sitting there drinking some white liquor. I like brown liquor. But I'm not really with all of those, like they be like, oh, no. I came here to live. Okay? Came here to live. And what we're not going to do is apply the Western philosophy to something that done got nothing to do with that. And that's why I be having a little bit of an apprehension with some of E5, because some of that shit done got poisoned with some fucking Christian doctrine. Man, get the fuck out of here. About the lives of drunk. What are you talking about? Well, listen, if you never ate no meat before, I wouldn't advise you to fuck with that shit. I would take that meat, fry it up, and put it down for the shreds. So I wouldn't eat that shit. If Obatala is your father, no, it don't go like that. So, is an indication that children of Obatala can overdo things, right? You get to the point where you're so drunk that you can't function, you can't drive, you can't do anything. Then maybe it's not for you. But just because you have Obatala made, nah, it don't go like that. Yeah, I'm asking you from Uncle Leroy, is this Isheshe telling you this, or was this LUCUMI Bible House telling you that, or something? I don't know. Yeah, there had to been some ones that be telling you that you gotta go to the church and all that. They be tripping. This is what happens with the culturalization of things. And so you gotta know that you get to the core of it, you be like, what are you talking about? Obatala was a drunk. Un baracho. In Cuba say Obatala un baracho. Right? And that even the thing, there's this thing, so they do this thing, right? So they go, Obatala di day, oh di day man. Obatala di day, oh di day man. Okolowo baba kilonche, di day, oh di day man. Right? Bonko iworo, Obatala. And he does this dance where they like, he's stumbling around. But they say, oh, is he stumbling because he's an old man, or is he drunk? Right? Okay. Now, part of the wisdom in this life is to learn the lesson. So if everybody went to E5 or went to get a reading and they was like, don't do this, and you just didn't do that shit no more, the world will be boring. That's what makes us so very important to the world, is our ability to respect the folly, to respect the mistake. You go to bots again. I love it. Let's go. Anyway, so no, I wouldn't necessarily just go with that whole edict of Obatala says that you know what I mean? It's probably one of my secret lovers. That's what we are. So where we feel. And we both know no one. Ayaguna. You're right. Listen. Oh, listen to me, cuz don't you hurry. I'm gonna make a nice cake for them motherfuckers. You hear me? I'm gonna put their name on it and get some candles and blow them out. Right? See, cause listen to this, Jay. I see that picture you sent me with your man with the cooked foods around the LUCUMI. Non-cipher. I want you to do your own research and send that back yonder. Ayah. and see what they say. Say, come on. Don't say. No. What is this? What is it? Hors d'oeuvres? Get the fuck out of here. Acá hacen cocinan la hors d'oeuvre para Orokum. Yeah? Oh, okay. That's what y'all doing now. Adios. Certainly. So I'm gonna drop this one on you. Yeah, because Mr. Ramos is un cocinero. Carajo. Anyway. Oh, what's good, Roger? He said, I used to be in Congo, I was seeing. Yeah, he was like, oh, that shit is bullshit. I got some stories for you. Anyway. She's selling her local water. I mean, whatever. If you will buy it, then, I'm not buying them bitches of local water. Get the fuck out of here. No, son. And she'll learn. She will learn. You feel me? So, this is what we was all right. So, boom, here we go. So, this whole time thing. So, I want you to understand. So, like in the movies, they got the time machine and they go back into time and they show up. But that's not possible. Because time is always moving. It is a stream. And when you go to the stream, it's the water that was there right now is not going to ever be there again. Are you following me? Are you following me? So, let's say time is going around like this, right? And right now, this time is happening right now. Right? It's happening right now in the stream of time. If we leave this moment and try to come back to it, we will not find it because it will not be where we left it. Huh? Tell Billy Carson to figure that one out. You cannot go back in time because it is continuously moving. It is a stream. So when you go back to it when you thought it was, where you left it, it ain't there no more. So all of this time machine shit, you would go through time and you will fuck around and show up with the dinosaurs. Like, oh shit, don't send me back. Cause you can't figure out when that fucking time is coming back. So, he says, what does it mean that they'll have an old dude to make you fire, but you find out you're Mount Muerto? So dig this. If they want you to be down with their little fucking clique, they'll find a way. Them niggas got all kinds of shit that they're gonna tie your Agun up or tie your Ocha up and you'll never get mounted again. Right? And for that reason, I don't believe in just going until you fire. I think they're trying to trick people. So how do they keep having Billy Carson on their show? Because they like views. What is that? Mike Tyson passed away. What is he talking about? Don't play like that. So, yeah, so this whole time machine thing and all that, I don't play with that. They talking stupid. It doesn't even make sense. Would you have a problem if they tie your ankle down? Absolutely. Well, see, I hear what you're saying, Roger, but it's not about the geomancy. See, one of the things that they the Bible allows, and they find themselves at a so they can talk all that shit if they want. Yeah, the system is perfect. Yeah, it's fine, but it wasn't born that way, right? So you said, what's the reason for that? Because when you make Ocha, right, you are fulfilling a destiny. Now, it's a possibility. All these things are possibilities. But when you are pulling on God's ear, proverbially, there is a side effect to that. So, like I actually, because you have to essentially understand that you are delving into another realm. So, like I said before, if you get in the water and you sit in the water for 3-4 hours, what's going to happen to your body? It's going to prune. There is uh, a side effect to being in that dimension for too long. So if you're pulling Odu by way of I Ching and through the lagoon or through tarot cards and all these different things, at some point you are affecting your spiritual body. So Ocha says, I'm gonna let you get in the water and it's not gonna prune up your skin. It's called a wetsuit. You can stay down there as long as you need to. And here's another apparatus. This is gonna let you breathe down there, so that you don't gotta come back up for water, for air, right? So that these initiations are there as mechanisms for you to be able to delve into those dimensions. Am I making sense? So when you hear these chicken heads and they're like, I gotta download today, what is the side effect? You farted all day or something? Get out of here with that. No, there is, anytime you come in contact with something that has etheric energy, you're going to have an effect of it. Period. So this is why the silly dude died the way he did with his kidneys failing him, because you was opening doors that you didn't have the apparatus to breathe in those dimensions. Because again, when you don't have the So, you know, when you get on the plane, right? This is a perfect example. You get on a plane, right? And every time you get on the plane, everybody done been on the plane a couple times, 2 times. Maybe once in a while you get a new person they never flew before. But the stewardess is going to always do that same thing. Look under your thing, there's a vest, and you pull it, and you put it around you, and you clap it on, and just hold on for, right? Okay. Excuse me. Now, when I go to my shelves, every day I got prayers that are there to help me and the things that are assisting me know where the exit doors are. Right? So, Takesha don't got no prayers. She just got her deck and she like this. Oh, and your boyfriend is cheating on you. Oh. Now, every time she opens up one of them things and them things that possibility is talking to her, it's taking a strain on her. Okay? Exactly. Oh, you want to hear a story? Again, I think I told this before. I had this goddaughter who, you know, I don't know what it is on my forehead, but some niggas come to me and they'll get a reading and they don't believe me. They think I'm just talking out my ass. So whatever. So she thought she knew more than me. So she's going to tell me, she's going to take me to see her friend Dottie in Long Island, who's a spiritualist, a Reiki specialist. She was a flexologist, reflexologist. And the lady was really good at what she did. So now she, in the midst of taking this shit with me, she was like, oh, you a bad motherfucker. Yeah, all right. And she said some real shit. At the end of the session, I was like, yo, listen, I would like to offer some of my services to you, right? So that you can get some grounding and all that, right? And she was like, oh, no, I got my rituals. Okay, I'm not a missionary. I'm not. One time, I can give you an opportunity. I throw you a, you know what I'm saying, lifesaver. You don't grab it, I'm not gonna watch you drown. All right. So the goddaughter at the time, they was all hanging out at the African Street Festival. This had to be in like the 2010s, 11s, 12, yeah, around that. Maybe 2013, it was around that time. The same lady who was doing the reflexology was doing it out there on the whatchamacallit. And all of a sudden she had a nervous breakdown. She started suffering from anxiety. She started doing cartwheels. And before you know it, they left her out of there in a straitjacket. Okay. So, we're going to have this conversation on the new communications, whatever it is, if it's on the glasses, if it's on the wall, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, remember I told you them crazy brothers, and they're gonna see all of them crazy brothers. They're gonna be chewing on chalk, having some kind of medication applied to them, because they didn't get the protective gear, and so now they got parasites. Now they are hypothermia. They got hypothermia. They was in the water too long. See? So, you could be like homie in them, and he was talking cash stuff, and niggas still talking about, oh, rest in power to the brother. Yeah, right. He couldn't pee. He couldn't pee. He was laying in the bed tricking y'all. Yeah, because and all that funny stuff, and then I hear him dead. But me not know nothing. Me not know nothing. Me not know nothing. Yeah. It's exactly right. Right, when she threw the baby, jumped out the car and all that crazy shit. Because you didn't have a wetsuit. See, melanin ain't the wetsuit. They told y'all wrong. Oh, you got melanin, and you supposed to. You kings and queens. Nah, son. ahead if you like. The same way I can talk all that shit. I got melanin in my ancestors. Let me get on a plane and try to go to Africa tomorrow. I'm going to have to get that shot. Woo! One here, one there, one in the neck. Give it to me. Because I'm going to go over there and fuck around and die if I drink that water and let that TT fly bite me. I say, exactly, because you had a respect, because you had a mechanism that you were already familiar with. See, a lot of these people just came out of the Dark Ages. Niggas was like, Jesus! And they were like, hey, that's the devil. Then now they like, and Ogum says, he'd be like, yo, hold up, son. Hold the fuck up. Oh, no, listen, we ain't gonna get into that. You know, niggas be like, they didn't come here. I don't get into all of that. I was not here. I know I got some ancestors that been distant time. Feel me? Yeah, Allah spoke of the seven. That's what Wesley said. He said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that there was 7 black gods. He a damn liar. Don't lie you like that. Why would you lie like that? You hear me? He ain't never said nothing like that. That is not in the doctrine of Islam. Feel me? So what, you know, it's a very famous line. That's what we've been doing. We've been quoting Wu-Tang all week. Right? It's a famous line. You told your boo you was wildin'. Once you heard Wu out of the blue, your family from Shaolin. Get out of here, man. Feel me? Oh, I was always doing that. My grandmother, yeah, she used to have a rock right by the door. That was to hold the door open. That wasn't her like, but you know what I mean? Just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to, you know what I'm saying, wiggle in and act like you've been doing this. No, son. Say yes. I'm the first one of my peoples to come and reclaim this information and have an understanding of it. And we're going to move forward. Don't act like you've been here. There was no puppy shit by the door. What is that? Eddie. Nobody feeds the dog, Eddie. Anyway, so I'm about to get out of here because I gotta go get my motherfucking shit, shiggity show, shoom boom bow. So, listen. Oh, your voice sounds good for a woman. You see all this bit? That's the type of women he be kissing. He need to get on. Go on, take him to the Southern District of New York with my man, the Diddler. Kissing men with beards and stuff. Anyway.
I want to make a fake page to do that, though.
Listen, I love it. If you pleasure yourself by listening to my voice and saying against whatever I'm saying is bullshit, man, you deserve. This bud's for you. Well, you know, first of all, the Native American quadrant and motherfucking spirits are not necessarily the nicest. They got a whole lot of contention with them. So I wouldn't just be rolling up on them talking about help me. They'd be like, help yourself. Give me my land back, right? So, yeah, I don't get into it with the they're not even conscious. We're gonna call them the sleepwalkers. They say they woke, but they just walking. They're just walking around pretending, playing out their dreams and shit. You feel me? Like what's his name? Ed Norton. Lulu, Lulu. So, yeah, I know. No, not skinwalkers, sleepwalkers. Lulu, Lulu. So I bid you farewell. Right? Those that are bots, I hope they tighten up your screws and your whatever it is you got going on. If you're a hater, I hope that I have provided enough content for you to continue to hate in a healthy manner. Right? And if you down with the, you know what I'm saying, Omidina Productions, right on, brothers and sisters. Right on, right on, right on. Feel me? But y'all gotta come with the questions and then let it be something that, you know, some biggity bop, something that somebody with a dashiki on told you. And I'm gonna knock them down. That way you can go back and you can say some funny shit to them and then they look stupid. Where did you learn that? What book did you read that? So, I will bid you farewell. Asante Sana. For this Shakula. Chi-Cha, brothers and sisters. We out.